Merseyside.
It's an old stone in the shoe, this one, really, isn't it? How do you rate the customer service you receive in shops? What about when you ring up your water company or the bank and you get that wonderful "you're on hold" music? Certainly with my bank. Please change it, HSBC. Well, today we'll see the release of the National Customer Service Index, which monitors how we feel about the quality of customer service in the UK right across the board, including financial services, there's pretty much everything: food, retail, tourism, public services, even down to your telephone as well. Kate Hardcastle is the woman behind Customer Service Bootcamp. Be very afraid. It's an initiative to get more businesses to listen to our demands. Good morning to you, Kate.
Hi, good morning.
How do we rate in this country for customer service? Please tell me we've got better.
No, we're getting worse, I think. I mean, the fact is that a lot of the volume retailers, if you look at Tesco recently and their figures and how they're seen as providing customer service, compared to someone like Sainsbury's, Tesco's have been on a really aggressive growth, lots of stores openings, lots of development, and with that has come a failing customer service, and they've started to go back down in the chart. So what tends to happen is the more, we're working with a volume organisation, bigger stores, bigger presence, the more we start to lose customer service. And I know a lot of your listeners will mention a certain phone company like O2 just a couple of weeks ago, talk about the distress and hurt they went through, and when things like that happen on a massive scale, it affects all of us. We're actually starting to think it affects stress levels too.
I mean, we like to jump though, don't we? I mean, to be fair to O2, all right, it was a bit of a nightmare last week, but you have been with O2 for years and years and years. I'm not now, but I was for years and years and years. Never a problem. So when they kind of bubble along and everything's fine, but we like to jump down people's throats at the first opportunity, don't we?
Do you know what? I don't think we do, actually, Tony. I think what we're learning to do that. I think we're terrible complainers. I don't think we have training in it, and I think it's very difficult. You've got to be very patient. You've got to work in partnership with your supplier, and that's how you'll get the best results. And a lot of us just get to the point we just get frustrated. But it's that kind of stiff upper lip thing, we take it and take it and take it, and then say, that's absolutely not acceptable. What we've really got to concentrate in terms of customer insight at the moment, and this is costing, bad customer service costs billions. It's not an insignificant problem for businesses, it's huge. But we've got to understand the customer mindset and temperament at the moment. Life is just really hard. Work's hard. We're losing our jobs. The kids are driving us crazy. We don't know if we're going to get a holiday this year. We don't have the disposable income that we used to have. Therefore, if something does start to go wrong, it's really going to affect us, and we're going to get upset about it, and therefore we might have that stress that we take out on a provider where something's not going right. And think about it, but think about the fairness of it. Just paid a lot of money for this and it's not working, and I don't have a lot of money at the moment. That's not fair.
I mean, having said that, there will be people who will go to a particular shop, they will pay more, even if it's only £2 or £3 more for a particular item, because they know they're going to get looked after.
Well, that's a developing trend, and I think what I'm saying when I'm talking to businesses is forget lowest price, forget this silly kind of concept of always trying to be the cheapest. Think about your business in the long term, and think about the fact that the customer will pay for value. Value isn't always the cheapest price. There is a small percentage of us, 15% normally in surveys, of people who always want the cheapest. The rest of us will actually pay for value, and value is the combination of quality, service and price. And it's those three things that we really need to look at. And, a lot of people heard me talking about Marks and Spencer's last week. That's where some of their challenges and some of their dips are coming from, because the value isn't as good as it used to be. Go on, sir.
I was just going to say, we can learn from other countries, now particularly the United States. You can go into a shop and you could buy 75 cents a cup of coffee, and you would get exactly the same fantastic customer service as if you were buying a car.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm back out in the States in a couple of weeks, and we do sort of what we call the USA v. the UK on customer service. We're doing it prior to the launch of Bootcamp, because there is a bit of a myth that US service is always impeccable. I mean, I've been in New York and been chased down the streets by a waiter before abusing me.
Is that because you never left a tip? Is that because you never left a tip?
Well, I didn't leave a big enough tip according to him, but I did according to the service I received. And I think that, we have got some impeccable retailers with impeccable service.
Sure.
A lot of those are in the independent sector, because people know in the independent sector how hard it is to get footfall, how hard it is to get a sale right now. And if anyone out there wants a secret of business success in any service industry, be it a spa, a restaurant, a hotel, anything at the moment, your secret to success is better customer service. And don't think it can't be done better. It can.
What about the customer service boot camp? How can people get involved in this, Kate?
Well, it's a free-to-access initiative. We're registering now. The general public, if you're not part of a business that offers service, you can get involved by completing a survey to say how you feel. How is customer service making you feel, good or bad? And you can fill that out at customerservicebootcamp.co.uk. Yeah. If you are a business, you can get involved by registering for some free-to-access boot camps where we will just come along and get a group of people in a room and talk about how you can be the best of the best.
All right.
There is a reason for it. Customer service needs to be done every day, like physical training, to get results. You can't do it once and then have a bad day the day after and think that customers aren't going to mind. They do.
Okay, Kate, just briefly, because we got the news coming on in a second. I mean, I know that there are lots of people who work in shops, who work in the service industry, and their customer service, young people as well, you know, maybe just left university or school or whatever, and their manners are impeccable. Not all of them, but there are those who are really, really good at what they do. And they're being let down by the others, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't just target the young because of communication challenges or whatever here. This is a generic big issue. But we've got to not think about the people on the floor. We've got to think about the businesses themselves. It's their responsibility to provide the training. So, you know, don't just tackle the people on the floor that you're dealing with. Think about the business as a whole. And do write that letter. Just write it calmly. Don't lose your temper.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Kate. Cheers. Thanks. Take a breath. Bye. Take a coffee. Thank you. There's Kate.